Welcome back. First pod of the year, man. It's been a long time coming. Show about nothing here with the greatest ish. As you know, it's always us. D-Recognition in the building, man. It is a beautiful Thursday night in Atlanta. And we are here to give you the best podcast possible, the coolest podcast in the world. Ish Talk to the people, man.
Hey, what's up, man? Listen, first pod of the new year. Is this the first pod? No, it's not the first pod in general. It's been a while, though.
It's been the first one we gonna post that matter.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
I'll say
Niggas
that.
not broke no more.
Exactly.
You know,
Shout out to money.
Shout out to money, man.
So we're going to get into the playoffs as very quickly, man. It's been a great weekend. So it was a great weekend of football, a incredible weekend coming up in this divisional round.
Oh, yeah.
So straight to it, man. What's the first game you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Brady first.
Brady. Oh, of course. Okay. Go up. Go.
Yeah.
Do what you do.
Well, I want to talk about Brady first because we did the show Sunday, and this was the farthest one to pick.
Yes.
And on the show Sunday, you said something really interesting. He was like, man, anything happened in NFC. We really don't know. In fact, we have no clue. We got no clue what's going on. Dak played a perfect game. Tom Brady looked awful, start to finish. Listen, Tom, it might be Tom.
All right. So when I was watching the game, I was like, man, that is what I'm coming to ask him. Is it time?
Oh, yeah, it's time. It's time. So Tom, a long time ago, and I've said this a lot when we talked about when he was going to retire. He said, man, when I'm shit, I'm going to retire. And boy, did he look like shit. And it wasn't just scoring 14 in the whole game and getting blown out.
Yeah.
It was the miscommunication by the offense, the questionable question mark above my head. Like, who the fuck are you throwing at? Like, even the one that didn't get picked, before that, he threw into like quadruple coverage to some tight ends.
This is a podcast.
Yeah, hell yeah, listen.
Keep going.
Yeah, bro. Yo, play action, the camera pan back. I'm like, damn, who you throwing to? Corner of the end zone. It's a tight end and 4 Cowboys. Like, bro. Like, press the wrong button on Madden. Like, my nigga, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, so I was watching the game, and I was very, very, very surprised at what I saw. I definitely thought the Bucs was going to win this game. I barely wanted to post a podcast because we were so sure that the Bucs was going to beat the Cowboys, bro. And after watching the game, bro, I was like, man, Brady, I kind of wanted you to play the 50, but just so I could say somebody played the 50, but man, that's not going to happen, bro. Brady is cooked, and it's okay, bro. He's obviously the greatest quarterback of all time. He's 45 years old. Go be not a family man and go get some bitches, man.
Go get a single man.
Go get some bitches,
Go
man.
get some hoes, nigga. You Tom Brady, bro.
You're Tom Brady, bro. It's time. So, and you have $300 million contract to broadcast after this. So my question is, we think he should retire. Do you think he is?
No, I don't think he'll retire.
Okay.
I don't think he'll retire. Unfortunately, Tom had, fortunately or unfortunately, he just don't know when to stop. He just don't know when to
Shut up, Brett Favre.
Shut up, Brett Favre. He just don't know when to quit, man. And I can see him, well, he definitely will be playing at Tampa, but it's a lot of different destinations that could use a QB, People don't know what's up with Miami. Look like Mike McDaniel survived the weekend. He's still there.
Yes.
I don't think San Fran wants him.
No.
Vegas, they said, with McDaniels.
Yes.
If he was at the Patriots, I wouldn't want that.
No. I think the only place realistic for him to go is Vegas, and I don't think it matters if he goes to Vegas because I think Vegas is poorly coached, and I don't think their defense will be much better next year.
And they don't protect the passer.
So are you going to draft an O-line and the defense in 7 rounds? Absolutely not.
No.
Are you going to get enough free agents over there? I don't think so. So I really think Brady should hang it up for the sake of, bro, like, don't go out like this.
And, bro, the game, listen, it's nothing to be ashamed of, Tom. The game's just different.
The game is very different, bro.
You got to be able to move a little bit. You got to move the pocket. Offensive line is just not good, bro.
He was 35 and 66, bro.
Almost 66 times.
Like,
bro.
what was happening out there? But so, on to the Cowboys. I do want to talk about the Cowboys. They deserve to be talked about, bro. First off, we got to start with Dak. 5 touchdowns. He played an incredible game from start to finish. He looked as comfortable as I have ever seen him, if I'm being honest, bro. Like, Dak looked incredible. So, what did you see from the Cowboys that, if anything, will present a threat to the 49ers?
None. I think he finished this display for 5 touchdowns.
That's funny. That's really
That is how bad I think the Bucs defense played.
Okay.
It was
like a 7-7, dog.
Dog. It was so
like
bad.
7-7. Like, it was bad.
It was so bad. You know what it was? I'm in the Mad Leagues, and year after year, the rosters kind of changed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in a game today, and I saw Bobby Wagner with no X Factor.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's sad. They took my nigga Bobby X Factor. Like, they got my nigga Bobby over. Like, that's what I was looking at. I was like, man, Levante David and Devin White, Vita Vea. Y'all niggas just like shells. Like, Tony Pollard.
Shells of yourself.
Tony Pollard up the middle, like, fam. Niggas, they won a Super Bowl because people just couldn't. They didn't even try to run on them.
Right.
Can he stop Zeke? I mean, and like, this ain't rookie Zeke. Like,
nah.
Man.
Yeah, I was impressed from what I saw with the Cowboys, but also like let's chill.
Yeah.
Let's chill, because
the y'all old Dak apology, that shit was killing me.
Like, chill, bro. Like, he had a fantastic game, but he was throwing the wide open receivers. It was a couple passes he threw that was like, oh, it was great, because I saw something about how the thumb injury that he hadn't fully healed, and if you were really paying attention, you really played quarterback, you can understand that some of his throws just didn't have the velocity they would usually have.
Yeah.
He was a little bit off on some of the throws that he was making, like the out routes and everything, just a little bit of timing off in a sense because he couldn't really grip the ball. I don't know if that on Monday, if that was more of a product of his thumb is getting better week by week, or if the defense of Tampa Bay was just that bad.
Yeah.
But I will say, I do not think the Cowboys will beat the 49ers, but I do think that this will be a better game than I would have said on Sunday when we talked, before I saw the Cowboys play.
Right.
I would like to ask, because when we were talking on Sunday, we said that the one thing the 49ers, the one way you can stop the 49ers is if you make Brock Purdy look like a rookie. The Cowboys have one of the best defensive players in football, and they also have one of the best defensive tackles, defense in kind of plays both in Dexter Lawrence. And so they have the pass rush to make him very, very uncomfortable. On the other hand, you also said the way they throw the ball and the way they get these people open in this open field, it's like you have Christian, Debo, and Ayuk and Kittle in open field like punt returners.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to just say the pressure is going to be everything, because you have to stop these guys from getting open, and nobody has been able to do it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how the Cowboys defense can stop the 49ers.
Right. So the reason I think the Cowboys this will be a rough night for them is schematically, I think it's a very bad matchup. Right. Because I don't think Micah Parsons will be able to strictly just put his hand in the dirt and rush the passer. I think a lot of the Christian McCaffrey out the backfield stuff needs to fall on him. But just because Leighton Vander Esch, the rest of the Cowboys linebackers, don't possess the athletic capability to keep up with him outside the backfield.
100%.
Outside of that, the misdirection in the 49ers passing and running game plays against the aggressiveness of the Cowboys defense as a whole.
Right.
Just because they stretch you sideline to sideline, if you make the wrong move, step in the wrong gap, Debo's up the sideline, Christian's up the sideline, I think it's just a bad matchup. For the Cowboys, what I would have to do if I was Dan Quinn, which is crazy, I would not want to be Dan Quinn. Shout out Dan Quinn. Is you have to put it on Micah to not be defensive. You need to make Micah a weapon for you, where they don't want CMC to come out the backfield because they need you to chip on him.
Right. That makes sense.
We need to take away something. Instead of just trying to counteract everything, let's try to take away CMC out the backfield. Let's try to take away short things to Kittle, and then we'll deal with everything else on the back end, because we do have a great corner. We do have a really good defense, surrounding that player. So if we can take out this thing, or just take out one thing, as you said, he is a rookie. We don't know how he'll react.
Right.
We don't know how his game will change if he can't hit Christian McCaffrey for 4 or 5, 6. Whenever pressure gets on. So I think that's the route I would take. Okay.
So I agree with you, because my next point was, I saw that in the Bucs game, Micah played a lot of linebacker, and he is definitely a good linebacker, but he is not nearly as effective and dominant as he is when he got his finger in the dirt.
Exactly.
So my thing was, I was going to say as well, I think you just say, Micah, I need you to go all out. I need you to go all out every play and make him as uncomfortable as possible. And that is exhausting, but him back in coverage, I don't think it helps you that much, bro. Because maybe on plays that you assume they're going to run the ball, but everybody all week has been talking about their 21 personnel. The 49ers, that is, and how dangerous it is because Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel are both running backs and receivers.
Yeah.
So it's very frustrating.
And Kittle's basically a wide receiver sometimes too, or a fullback.
And he blocks like an offensive lineman.
Yep.
So it is so difficult to stop them and to contain and scout them because the formations that you usually see, like, hey, if they line up like this, like, we'll just take a random team like the Saints. If they line up like this, all right, this is going to be a run. And if it's not a run, it's going to be one of these two pass plays.
Right.
With the 49ers personnel, it's like this could be 5 runs, and if it's not one of the 5 runs, it could be 4 different passes. So it's so hard to scout them and to really put your defense in a good position to stop them and to stop the run, which is the basis of their offense, and it has been because not only is the formation a problem, all the motion, the back and forth, and Christian is out wide on one playing Deebo in the backfield. Like, what is going on?
It's really hard for like non-super football fans to understand like how quickly that 35 seconds every play really goes. Because in that 35 seconds, especially on defense, if you're defending the 49ers, in that 35 seconds, you need to figure out what personnel, how they are lined up, and how are they going to motion before the snap.
Yes.
And within that 35 seconds possesses so many different combinations where, like you saw just past weekend, Christian McCaffrey on the line of scrimmage with his hand in the dirt like a tight end. And then they come motion out to 5 wide in that same formation. And you still have to match personnel. You still have to play defense as if you're playing all right, here's the formation, and now we're going to drop back and pass.
I agree. So what do you think the defensive-wise the Cowboys should do as far as personnel? You just said that it's hard to match their personnel. Do you think they should go with a base personnel and kind of go from there? Or when they go 21 personnel, or do you think they should go big nickel and move out one of their linebackers and bring in a safety? Or do you think that they should stay in just a regular nickel pretty much throughout the game? What do you think?
I love nickel personnel for them, especially just because Micah and Leighton Vander Esch are so good. They also have really good safeties. I think it starts with a lot of the best defensive schemes, whether it's Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, the Seahawks, and with the Legion of Boom. I think you got to sit Trayvon Diggs down, and this got to be the Trayvon Diggs day.
Okay.
You have to be the one that's going to do it with Micah. Because if we can go to Trayvon and say, listen, you're not going to tackle Deebo in the A gap. You're not going to chase him down with an eye for him.
No.
Anybody that lines out wide on you, whether it's Deebo, whether it's Ayuk, and Kittle, you got to make sure they got to pack a lunch outside.
Right.
They have to control the outside of the field so that the rest of their defense can focus on stopping the run, rallying to the ball. You can't let the 49ers spread you out because then there's, like, it's a punt return, like I said, half of your defense is on the other side of this hash. They got 3 over 4 blockers. He just got to make one guy miss.
And he going to do that.
Exactly.
That's the thing, he going to do that.
So Micah and Trayvon, he has to step up whether they're going to play cover 3 and he locks down the side. Cover 1, he's going to chase Deebo or Ayuk around. Whatever they do, he has to be the other guy. And he needs to take the ball away.
Right.
Rookie quarterback.
You got to get one.
You're Trayvon Diggs.
You got to steal a possession.
He's Trayvon Diggs. Like, this is what this is the game for you. Everybody laughed that people throw you picks all the time. What do rookies do? You got to make him throw you that punt.
You have to.
Yeah.
So, pick the game now. Time to pick the game. I do think I'll go first. If we're picking this game, San Francisco is a home Sunday night game, close the playoff. I think this is a good game. I think Dak has a decent game as far as offensively. Well, we'll go there before we pick the game. Offensively for the Cowboys and defensively for the 49ers. Obviously the best defense of football. It's been no question in the past 11 weeks. They were on an 11-game win streak for a reason. Fred Warner, the head of that defense, has been incredible. I think the thing that makes the Cowboys dangerous is how they are able to run the football. And not only are they able to run the football with Tony Pollard, they're able to run the football with Zeke in between the tackles. Yeah. Tony can get outside. He can also play out wide. if you guys don't know, I'm a big fan of Tony Pollard. I think he's an excellent running back.
Yeah.
So I think the issue that the 49ers are going to present for the Cowboys is that they're not going to be able to run the ball. And that is not a, hey, drop back 45 times and win us this game quarterback every week. Nope. You didn't ask him to do that last game. The last game he only dropped back. He had 33 attempts. And he was 25 for 33, so he threw eight completions. Right. I don't see that happening again this week. And I really would like to know, how in the world are they gonna, if the running game happens as I think it will, and Tony and Zeke are both held to under 50 yards a carry, where do you think their offense goes from there?
It would have to go through CD. It would have to go through CD and those tight ends, but it's over. It's over.
It's not
like those memes. It's Mahomes over. It's Joe over. It's done. It's done, bro. It's over, bro. I think it's gonna get. It has the potential to feel like when the 49ers played the Packers a couple of years, and they were just mean.
Yeah.
You know, they were just stronger. They just hit harder. They just broke that team. Like, I feel a lot of that in this Cowboys team.
Yes.
Where they're a little pretty. You know, has a tendency, you know, things start going bad, it can go downhill really fast. And Dak, throughout his career, if he throws more than 40 times, he throws a pick. And I can see that happening very easily here today, especially going up against such an aggressive defense that's built to stop what they want to do.
Exactly.
Tony Pollard won't be catching the ball out the backfield.
No.
Zeke won't be running the ball between the tackles. And they won't be given free reign to go over the middle because of the cover 4, cover 6, cover 9 that the 49ers are so famous for. With Hufanga, shout out All-Pro, Fred Warner, all those people waiting for Dak Prescott to just make that mistake. Because for them, they smell blood in the water because the 49ers have been the best team in the NFC all year. You know, they're playing with higher goals, and they kind of believe, like, they're not going into the game like, man, Brock Purdy is our third QB. We gotta, we have to do this. No, like they want to do this.
This ain't Skylar Thompson.
This is not Skylar Thompson. You know what? Shout out Skylar Thompson. I haven't found this video, but I was watching the 4th down live, and before the play, they'll show into the QB's face. Oh my God, I felt so bad. You can see he just did not want to be out there. His face was red. No, it looked like he was going to cry. Like, I felt so bad for him lining up for that 4th down.
Oh my gosh. As a third-string quarterback, you do not expect that to happen. Hey, bro, you were there to collect that 6-figure check and take your ass home, bro.
Bill sending slot blitzes on the edge, bro. I felt so bad, bro. And I felt super bad. We can transition to this game because, like, couldn't nobody catch anything. I felt so bad. Like, even the throws that he did make, they were dropping them. Like,
yes, bro. That throw he made to what's his name? The tight end.
Gesicki. Up
the seam was incredible. What a dot, bro. Right through his hands. Bro.
That one, Waddle had one. Bro, it was sad.
So we saw the game. We all saw the game. My question to you it's not more so about the game. We'll jump into the Bills in Cincinnati in a second. But I would have a question with, if you're the Dolphins, what are you doing in the offseason? Because Tua has been hurt consistently every year. He's been hurt. This year, the injury is actually life-threatening. Yep. So it's like, he come out next year in week 3 and get another concussion. It's like, dude, like, can he play again? Like, should he play again type shit? So if you are the Dolphins, are you thinking about drafting a quarterback?
No, I wouldn't draft a quarterback, but in times of crisis, people seek out religion. And I will go get a religious QB in Derek Carr and bring him to Miami and bring some God to that city. I think Derek Carr's the perfect fit. But I wouldn't draft a QB first because I don't think it's a guy in the draft that, like, I would change my whole team to go get. Like, if Caleb Williams was in the draft, maybe.
I like Bryce, but Bryce ain't nobody trading about. The Houston's getting Bryce. So
exactly. That's And after Bryce, like, I mean, even with Bryce, like, I got Josh Allen in my division.
Exactly.
Like, I need a guy back there for real.
Guy.
Yeah. So I would go get Derek Carr because his team has a lot of weapons. They already fired the defensive coordinator. I would go out and get a more aggressive defensive coordinator. But I would be looking Derek Carr that type of like Kirk Cousins if he were to hit the market. That's the type of guy like, because you have the listen. Tyreek and Waddle gonna be there next year.
Yes.
And that is literally enough right there for you to be at least a playoff team, as you've seen.
Yes, 100%. If I'm the Dolphins, bro, I agree with you, bro. I'm not drafting a quarterback, but I am taking the time out to really look and see, all right, should I trade Tua?
I would.
If there is a market for Tua, I'm looking to trade Tua and go get a Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins, because with this offense, you don't need much. Like, you don't need a superstar back there. You don't need Lamar Jackson back there. You don't need a Josh Allen back there. So I just really think as you are looking at this offense, you're saying, all right, the running game will help us. So let's go try to find a running back in free agency or in the draft.
Right.
And let's make our defense better. Because you have the pieces to go to a Super Bowl. That is a Super Bowl roster.
Bradley Chubb, money was on the line, made a big play.
Yes.
Man, listen, earned his bread.
Yes.
I can circle that. Third down, I think it was a third down in the last couple of minutes.
Yes.
Got a sack, got him off the field, earned your bread right there.
Because you're looking at a team that's potentially going to the Super Bowl, more than likely probably going to be in the AFC Championship, and if not, who cares? Because they're that type of team, and you were down by the score. And almost won that game with your third string quarterback.
Yeah, and you've outcoached them twice for sure.
Yes, exactly.
Sure.
So you're looking at that division like, man, I don't see the Bills getting much better. I mean, they're incredible, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But it's not like it's a huge jump for them to take. So the gap right there is already here with y'all.
Exactly.
A quarterback is going to make that even to where that's a battle for the next few years as long as Tyreek and Waddle are there. So, yeah, I agree with you. Derek Carr is the answer. But Cincinnati Bengals now. Cincinnati Bengals, Buffalo Bills. Monday night game did not happen. So this is the first time these two teams are meeting for a full game. DeMar Hamlin is back in the building. The Bills are at home, so their energy will be electric. I'm expecting him to be at this game probably. He is doing well better. Again, shout out to the doctors in that situation. But what you expecting, man? What are you expecting? I know we excited for this. We're going to get out of the show early on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
We're not missing a second of this one.
Listen, boy, I think today's the day. Because NFL and all sports really are defined by eras.
Of course.
So you had the Brady, Manning, that era. Then it was like kind of Brady, Rodgers, and then it was like, oh yeah, it's Brady Mahomes. Met 3 times. Right now, it's Joe Burrow and Mahomes time, and that's what this game's gonna be.
Okay.
I think it'll be a great game. I think it's gonna be an amazing game, start to finish. I think Josh is gonna play well. I think Joe will play a little better. I think we've seen Josh turn the ball over a lot. I think Joe's offensive line is wrecked, so I think the game is gonna move at a. They won't, there'll be some adversity in there, like all playoff games. But I think it's gonna come down to last 2 minutes. Joe's gonna have the ball and Joe's gonna walk it down, and that's how I can see the game going 34-31 around there.
All right, so I'm glad you said that, bro, because I said at the beginning of the show. We are in Atlanta, greatest city in the world. If the Bills win this game, I'm assuming the Chiefs are going to handle the Jaguars. That AFC Championship will be in Atlanta. We are hoping for that because I am willing to pay a lot of money to get those tickets to go to that game. But Joey B gonna have something to say, man.
Yeah.
That motherfucker, that boy is nice, man.
And he's like an underdog. Never an underdog.
Never an underdog, bro. So, if I'm being honest, bro, I'm looking at this game like this is more of one of those who gonna get the last stop games.
Yep.
And I think this is gonna be a back and forth battle. I think Joey will have a great game, but the turning point of this game for me will be, as we have been saying for the past 4 weeks, Josh Allen is going to hit that Jimmy G button.
Which he's done every
week. He's done every week. And I just don't see it stopping here. Yeah. And I don't know if they can overcome the turnover and the fumble.
Right.
Our 2 picks from our turnover on downs. I don't know if they can overcome that playing the Bengals and with how powered this offense is.
Exactly.
The Bills don't have this all-time defense like a 49ers or even a Philadelphia. They don't have nothing like that to where I'm really thinking they're going to hold them under 24 points.
Listen, that secondary is very beat up. listen, Jamar, T. Higgins, like, man.
That's a crazy 1-2 punch.
Listen, there's some bad boys, bro, for real. Like, a lot of people, like, always talk about best wide receiver groups. Like, I don't know if they're the best wide receiver trio, including Tyler Boyd. And I'll even sneak Hayden Hurst, the tight end, in there, just because it's amazing he ended up there. Mm-hmm. But playoff-wise, I don't know if there are other receiving groups I trust as much.
Right.
Because what I've seen them already do in the playoffs.
Right.
Like, and we talked about Trevor Lawrence and, like, how, listen, Trevor Lawrence was Clemson. 300,000 people in the stadium's not a big deal.
He cool.
Jamar Chase went to LSU. Jamar Chase went to LSU. Like,
we ain't sure. SEC football is kind of bigger than NFL sometimes.
T. Higgins already been to the bowl. Like, this is a team that's been there, done that.
Yes.
I watched you walk into Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all walk in Kansas City, beat Mahomes. I'm not picking against you unless you play Mahomes.
Fact. So,
and I'm not gonna give Josh Allen more credit for losing to Mahomes than I will Joe Burrow for beating him. Exactly. I think situationally he's a much better quarterback,
I do too.
And I think he'll be throwing against a worse defense than Josh will be facing.
Yes, I think the one thing a couple things. One, Von Miller, man, boy, this is what they needed him for.
Yeah.
This is exactly what they needed him for.
Missing 3 linemen?
Missing 3 linemen, and y'all don't got Von Miller, bro. Man, so that's where I was going, though. Because the Bengals are banged up as far as their offensive line, they're missing 3 linemen. And the line had been great all year for them. Joey, after them, they started off a little rough.
After
the first 2 games, they were a little rough. But since then, that O-line has been fantastic. Joey has looked incredible back there. So I am worried. The only thing that worries about me in Cincinnati is if the Bills are able to rush the passer because of that O-line being banged up. As we saw, we always bring it up, the Chiefs-Bucks Super Bowl. Bruh, you can't block.
There's nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do. I don't care how good you are.
Last play of the Super Bowl, Jamar Chase is still running wide open right now. If it wasn't for Aaron Donald grabbing Joe Burrow, we don't know what would happen.
What would happen? So, that's my only concern about the Bengals. I think the Bengals have a little bit better team. I think the quarterback, they're both A-plus quarterbacks, but the A-plus that Joe gives me in situationally, like you said, I'm taking over Josh. Yeah. I think as far as coaching, I think they both have incredible coaches. So I don't even really think it's a huge edge in either one of those departments. Right. But I just trust Joe, like you said, more situationally than I'm going to trust Josh Allen. Yeah. Now, I will say, they are at home. The Bills. The Bills are at home, so if this does go down to the wire, that crowd, the weather, all of that could play in the part of the Bills winning this game. When we do the picks later in the show, I will probably be picking the Bengals, but it's no stretch of imagination me saying the Bills not going to win this game. That's not happening. Yeah. So I think we're in for one of the best playoff games we'll get. That's not an AFC Championship or Super Bowl.
And it's supposed to snow, and the Bengals are wearing all white. I just want to throw that out there.
Oh, that's gonna be hard.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be hard. So jumping to the next game, Giants-Vikings, man. So we both picked the Vikings in this game, but this was the one game we both looked at each other and was like, we might be wrong. We just don't know.
We just like Justin Jefferson.
That's all. Right, I'll be honest. Cat's out the bag. I just fuck with Justin Jefferson. That's my dog.
Shout out LSU.
That's my dog. So that's all that was. So, 2-part question. 1, how confident are you in the Giants going into Philly? 2, do you think them winning this playoff game was actually kind of a bad thing? Because it makes them look at Daniel Jones like, maybe he's better than I think he is.
You know what? Listen, I don't know if I'm caught up in the moment. Because I've seen a lot of people get caught up in the Daniel Jones moment. Especially with this has never been done with the 371 yards with white socks and it wasn't raining. All right. That is not more so what caught my eye. It was, man, I think Brian Daboll might be one of those people, man.
You think so? I
think Brian Daboll really just one of them people. And I think it's because you watch the Bills now, and you watch the Giants now, and they just don't. Every week Josh Allen spends away from Brian Daboll, he looks a little more like rookie Josh Allen. And every day Daniel Jones spend in that locker room with Brian Daboll, he looks a little more Like, man, this guy might actually be an NFL QB.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Saquon. I love Saquon so much.
I love Saquon.
Before the year, he told y'all, listen, I'm going to let y'all feel it. I'm going to let the whole world feel me.
Shout out to Saquon.
2 touchdowns, upset.
That was comeback player of the year.
That's comeback player of the year. What the fuck?
We totally forgot about that.
It's crazy. I forgot he came back.
Yeah.
You know what's just right? Saquon was hurt too, man. I'm so happy to see Saquon really out here dominating. And if I was the Giants, I'd be really confident going into this game.
Really?
I would be really confident.
Okay.
So I would be really confident, but not because I think we're better than the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Because we really don't have nothing to lose now. Because all the when that ball kicks off, all the pressure's on Philadelphia.
All of it.
And you know what we do? We rush the passer really well.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts, he don't want to move around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we rush the passer really well. We run the ball. We're a physical team, and we don't make mistakes. And that can beat 95% of teams in the NFL. And I would just feel confident because I know going in, like, we lose right here, that's fine. That's cool. Like, didn't nobody think we was going to be here.
No.
And I don't think Daniel Jones is franchise quarterback stamp. No questions about it moving forward. Mm-hmm. But I do think this gets you another year. I think this gets you another year. Because as good as he played, he's out there throwing the DoorDash drivers. No cap.
His receivers are not great.
Listen, me and Kenny Galladay tied for touchdowns this year. He is out there throwing the substitute teachers, bro. Like, yeah. I would give him one more.
All right, so yes, I'm giving him one more year.
Okay.
My fear was that they're going to do that. He won this playoff game. He had a decent year, and I'm like, all right, let's sign him to a 5-year deal. That scares me.
Oh,
now, if you want to do a 2+1. Or 3+1,
yeah.
I can live with that because a quarterback is so hard to find, and clearly him and Dable are working together.
Right.
I think Dable is reminding me of Kyle Shanahan a lot at how easy he's making the game for Daniel. Daniel is first off, he's using his legs, and for some reason, I don't know what the previous coach was. It Joe Judge or Joe Judge. Yeah. I don't know why he was against using Daniel's legs.
He was a special team coordinator. That's what Joe Judge did before he was the coach.
So, I love how they're using Daniel Jones' legs. They're using him to his strengths. They're not making him make difficult throws.
Exactly.
And that's sometimes you got Patrick Mahomes, sometimes you got Brady that can make every single throw in the world.
Right.
But sometimes you got Daniel Jones. Sometimes you got Jimmy G. Mm-hmm. And you got to make this game as simple as possible for them. And if you do, they're good quarterbacks.
Right.
So at the beginning of the year, I was ranking quarterback, Daniel Jones would have been 27. 25, somewhere down there. Now I'm looking at him like, with that offense, if they draft a good receiver, sign another one, that's a top 15, 16 quarterback, bro.
And what Brian Dable does, and I really just love Brian Dable, especially in New York, because he looks exactly how the Giants coach should look. Like, if I think about the Giants coach, like if I had to draw from memory, it would look somewhat like Brian Dable. And he is like, it's really easy when a person brings a culture with them. And Brian Dable brought this culture where it feels old. It just feels old school. Mm-hmm. It feels smarter, not harder.
Right.
Why are we doing all this? Like, let's not do anything that isn't leading to a specific purpose. And that's why I think them playing the Vikings first round was such an interesting matchup, because, like, we just, the Vikings are the complete opposite. Like, it was great to see. And I think I would be happy going in. Eagles missing a tackle. Mm-hmm. Jalen Hurts hurt. They don't have a bunch of playoff experience. And I would you'll know very early, I think, how this game is gonna go.
I 100% do.
Yeah.
I 100% think so. So jump into the game. We don't have to spend too much on the Giants Vikings game. The Vikings defense sucks, and Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. So that's kind of like.
And I don't know who the offensive coordinator is. I know Kevin O'Connell's the coach, and he's calling plays. Mm-hmm. But because we can't fire Kevin O'Connell, we're going to talk to you. Justin Jefferson needs to target the last 4 drives of your season. I don't know why that needs to be explained.
Pitiful.
You're in the playoffs because of one person.
Pitiful.
You are not going 4 drives without a target against these other elite receivers. And if you do, they're losing too. It's coaching malpractice. It's coaching. And I heard they're working on a Jettis deal. Whatever you're offering them is not enough.
Yeah, 10-year, $800 million. 10-year, $800 million.
I need a soccer deal.
2-year, $800 million, and $200 million incentive, so you can get $1 million. So yeah, jump into Giants, Eagles. The perfect thing you said. Most accurate thing you said. All the pressure is on Philly. 14-3.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts would have probably been the MVP if he didn't get hurt. Your defense has been perfect. Your running game, everything has worked.
You know what I heard the other day? I haven't heard at all this season.
What?
It's been real quiet. They were talking a new Jalen Hurts deal in Philly.
Oh yeah.
Jalen Hurts need a new deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jalen need a new deal.
You just lost 30-0 in the playoffs the year before. This is good. This is as good a roster could be in the NFL.
It's a fantastic roster. You got one of the best wide receiver duos in football. Very easily one of the best coaches in football.
Best
You're at home. Corners. So, I always say this every playoffs. I think we have this conversation since we've been doing this show. When all the pressure is on you, the one thing you cannot let get happen is you get down in a football game. So, I will pick Philly to win this game when we put the game picks later. I will pick Philly to win this game. But if the Giants get up 10-0, 13-0, and I know we've seen a lot of comebacks, and because of how football is played now, it's a lot easier to come back than it used to be. Yeah. But that pressure that they're going to feel, remember, third time they played them. Every time we had these talks about these divisional rivals playing the playoff and they played 3 times, that game gets a little bit tougher. That comeback gets a little bit tougher. Yep. Because them pass plays, they know you got to run now. When you can't run that play action, you can't really run them quarterback draws and everything that's been working for you all year, and you got to drop back and have Jalen throw the ball 45 times, that might play to be an issue for you. But on the other hand, they can make life hell for Daniel Jones. Boy, that front seven can make life hell for Daniel Jones.
Led the league in sacks.
Led the league in sacks. They have excellent pass rushers all around. Hassan Riddick has been incredible all year. So I think the key for the Giants, I'll start there. I think the key for the Giants this game is to get Saquon involved early.
Yep.
And you know what we just talked about with the 49ers, how they get Christian and Debo in the open field. I think you got to put Saquon out wide, run some quick screens for him, run a couple of jet sweeps, something to get him in the open field. You can't just run him through between the tackles. Right. Get him on a little Texas route, on a little option route, anything out the backfield that can get him in the open field and just be like, all right, I got to make 2 guys miss. I trust him to do that 1,000%. I trust him to do that. What I don't trust him to do is take 17 carries up the 2, 4, and 6 gap and 1, 3, and 5 gap.
Right.
For
and all the ISOs the whole day.
And I also think what is going to help, and we always talked about this, we always talked about how hard the read option is to guard, how hard it is to guard and game plan for, especially for a defensive end, because you really just don't know.
Right.
Like, you don't know. Like, it's literally
different for all teams.
You just don't know, and it's different for all teams, exactly. So, with that read option with Daniel Jones and Saquon, that's going to slow down the pass rush for the Eagles. So what are you thinking for the Giants, and like what is their way for success in this?
So I'm gonna go out and say it. I think the Giants win.
Really?
I think the Giants win 21-17 around there. But I think it's for a reason we haven't hit yet. And the NFL is really, I don't want to say cruel in a way, but there's just something poetic. I say this all the time, it's hard not to be romantic about sports.
Right.
And I really think the Giants are going to beat the Eagles the way the Eagles have beaten everybody else this year. I think All-Pro Dexter Lawrence with Lane Johnson out is going to make it very hard for him to throw the ball downfield. And I think because of that, the Eagles' offense is going to change, and I think it'll be enough to, because what the Giants want to do in this game is, if I'm Brian Daboll, so first of all, I trust Brian Daboll going into the game more than I trust the Eagles coach. But what they're going to do, to answer your question more specifically, is they're going to try to make them play Giants football. The Giants, we don't want a 34-31 game. We don't want to throw the ball down the field.
No.
We don't want to look up and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are out being dynamic, being great playmakers. What we want is a 24-21 game. Jalen Hurts has to run the ball. Miles Sanders has to run the ball. And the wide receivers that you paid for, them flashy guys, they're going to have to block. Because I think that not only will they create pressure early, but the pressure early is going to be the reason they're going to be leading early.
Okay.
And I think they're going to play the entire game from that pace, run the ball, get Saquon out wide. And I think the Eagles are equipped to stop Daniel Jones out in space with how fast their linebackers are and how good their front seven is. But it's the same problem that they presented for the Cowboys when they played early in the year was, okay, if you're going to commit to stop Daniel Jones, someone's still going to have to tackle Saquon. and it's the ultimate equalizer, and I trust Brian Dable to just make it paint by colors as easy as possible. Just 7 yards, 10 yards, 15 yards. Yeah.
4 yards, 15. Yeah.
And for the Giants, they've played like that all season. So it's not an adjustment for him to make him relax. This is how we need to play. This is what needs to be done. This has been drilled in Daniel Jones. This is how they want to play. For the Eagles, you got all this pressure on you. And once that time gets to ticking, it's getting faster and faster. You're pressing more and more. So now you start forcing plays. And I think that's how that game will go. I really do.
Okay.
Shout out Brian Dable.
I think the Eagles will win this game. But I think the Eagles win this game because all of this pressure will be removed by Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is such an excellent leader. Yeah. And I've listened to a lot of his post-game speeches. I've listened to a lot of his press conferences. I think he is well-spoken, and I think they believe in him more than anything.
Yeah.
And one thing I know from a quarterback, a confident quarterback, is that when you got the belief in your guys, that 13-0 lead, that 13-3 lead, our deficit don't mean much because I believe in you. Like, look at me. We good. Like how Jaguars rally behind Trevor.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Jocko Willick, by the way. Big fan of Jocko. I don't know if you ever watched one of his videos, but I knew exactly what Trevor Lawrence was talking about. But think like a story like that is exactly what we'd be talking about.
Yes.
The difference between really who believe in their QB and who don't, bro.
Right.
Like the offensive lineman is like, you just threw your fourth pick, the offensive lineman making a joke. Defensive leader coming up over to y'all like, yo, just play, bro. We got y'all. Don't trip. We believe in you.
That's real, bro.
Like that's the belief it takes.
And that's what I think it's going to take. That's what I think the Eagles have the advantage is their quarterback really being the guy. I think when it comes down to it, bro, I just think the Eagles have a little bit better roster, and I think that run game is going to be a problem.
Better for sure. Yeah.
I think that run game is really going to be an issue for them. I think this is one of them fast football games because I think both of these teams are running the ball a lot.
Yeah.
I think the way the Eagles will be able to march down the field with their run game and take a couple shots, I think that'll be the difference maker in this game is just their run game. I do think A.J. Brown has a really good game. A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith, I expect one of them to have a really big game.
Yeah.
And I expect the Giants to play a good bit of man coverage. I expect them to play a good bit of zone coverage. And although man coverage would play into the favor of the Philadelphians because, of course, you have to run a quarterback and all of that, I do think that Jalen will be able to pick apart the zone because I think that offensive line is really good. Even if Lane Johnson doesn't play, he's a game-time decision. They don't know if he'll play right now. If I was him, I wouldn't. I feel like he's in pain. I'm not going to play. But
offensive linemen sitting out games never bother me.
Never bother me.
Because if you're an offensive lineman and you play, you can't mess up. Like if I'm a wide receiver and I got a bum ankle, I can play 20 plays and still be relatively effective. Exactly. Offensive lineman, you can't take 30 snaps though.
Exactly. So I think even if Lane Johnson doesn't play, they will be able to protect Jalen Hurts and give him the time he needs to complete the passes and pick apart his own defense. I think Jalen will have an excellent game, and that defense will contain Daniel Jones. What I don't think, and I see a lot of people picking, I'm on Eagles Twitter, so I think a lot of people are picking them to blow them out. 31-14 game. I don't think it's that. I do think it's a kind of a low-scoring game. You said 21-17 Giants. I would probably say 24-20 Eagles. I do think this is an excellent game. A third division game is usually always a good game. So I'm expecting the Eagles to win this game, but I think we're in for it.
And especially because it was a nail-biter at the end of the season, and y'all played your starters.
Yes.
Like the Eagles played their starters, and it was still like a competitive game. And it's going to be a great game. But I think the NFL is so much different than the NBA in the playoffs where in the NBA in the playoffs, stars going to shine. In the same way in the NFL, But it's just so many more stars in the NFL. You don't know who is going to be that day. Like, if AJ Brown's just going to go for 215, you just if Darius Slay is going to go for 2 picks and 1 pick six, you don't know. Saquon could go for 185. Like, it's so many different ways the hat could fall. It's really great.
Yeah. So, jump into the Ravens-Bengals game. I just want to talk about one. We gotta talk about it.
Oh my God.
So it's very funny, bro, because
I feel bad. I think I took some responsibility for that.
I was hoping you were, bro. I was hoping you remembered you said that. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, on Sunday, it shows up now on all platforms. It said, bro, quarterbacks need to just jump over the pile.
Yeah.
Just jump over the pile and
reach over.
Reach over, bro.
Yes.
In your defense,
right?
You did say you guys are 6'5".
And
Tyler Huntley is not 6'5".
Let me clarify my comments, Tyler. Tyler, let me clarify my comments. On 4th and 1, 4th and short, jump over the line. On 4th and 3, or where? Listen. I watched this as he started jumping. I'm like, there's no way he's jumping. There's no way he's jumping. And me, as the jump over the line guy, even I thought, no way you're doing it from right here. And all the great jump over the line people, Brady, Drew Brees was 5'8", he does it. If you're going to jump over the line, and Sean Payton talked about this, once you reach, now you bring it back.
You don't hold it.
Why are you holding it? They're not blowing the whistle. Why are you holding? It was, and you know what, Tyler, I don't feel, I'm not going to bash you the way everybody else did. Because you know what? Backup quarterback, you weren't supposed to be in the first place. And you know what? Listen, I agree with J.K. Dobbins. Maybe they should have handed that bitch off. Listen, J.K. Dobbins played the game of his life. Hey, hand that bitch off once at least.
Nigga, bro, why didn't you give him the ball? All right, so first off, before I get to JK, hold on.
I can't believe this nigga jumped, bro. He jumped, and it felt the world knew this nigga was not going to be like you were so far away when you jumped. And then your teammates are pushing you. Oh my! I would have pulled that nigga down. I ain't gonna look. I would have pulled that nigga back.
So, hold on. I'm fixing the camera.
Bro, it's mind-boggling. And you know what, John Harbaugh? Listen. I know they're not gonna fire you, John.
All right.
But
so they let go of Greg Roman today.
Yes.
Everybody is happy about that. I'm happy about that. He plays a 1960 type.
I didn't see some
football.
crazy death threats.
Crazy tweets to Greg Roman. I don't see some crazy tweets. But what I have been laughing about first off, I do want to give the Ravens defense a crazy credit.
Amazing game.
If the Ravens score on that possession, they might win that.
Bro, the game. Listen,
the
whole game looks like, the Ravens about to win this game.
Yes, bro.
They're getting pressure on Burrow. We're scraping these yards together, bro.
So,
man,
and that's why I don't get rid of John Harbaugh. I do not.
Yeah.
I think he stays. I think he is, you lost a playoff game with your backup quarterback, and he made one of the worst plays I've ever seen in the playoffs.
Yeah,
so,
listen, as a Patriots fan, I was happy to see it.
Yeah.
We no longer have the dumbest play this year.
I don't know. I don't know.
Nah.
A lateral 35 yards across the field at the end of the game is crazy.
Listen. If Sam Hubbard don't score, maybe. But not only did you fumble, you let Sam Hubbard run it back.
You didn't let a defensive runner run 99 yards down the field. That is crazy.
Yo, they on Twitter that's a block in the back, fam. He is 70 yards down the field. There is no ref. I would have tripped that nigga too. There's no ref down there chasing him. So can't nobody see that little block in the back?
What I have been thinking about Tyler Huntley since he did that, the moment it happened, I was like, yo, did he tell anybody he was finna do that shit? Did somebody co-sign that shit? He was like, y'all, sneak. Yeah, I'm gonna jump over this bitch.
Yeah,
and niggas was like, fuck it, okay.
Listen, I know
was that a secret? Was that a secret? He was.
I know he didn't say that shit because J.K. Dobbins wouldn't have went out there. He say that shit in the huddle. They might call timeout. all right, could you be sneaking? Yo, but I'm going to jump over. What? Nigga,
We're on the 3-yard line, my nigga. What are you jumping for, bro?
Fam,
You were
AD
5'10".
don't get that ball over the line of scrimmage, bro. Like, you know how far, and you jumped with, listen, I know Tyler Huntley's a great athlete. Far better than me athletically. But he jumped with no explosion off that ground. Like, they caught you. Like, they literally caught you. One nigga caught you and the other nigga took the ball. Like
Oh
at
my
least,
God.
bro, at least if, like, you know what? Let's say the best running quarterback ever. If Cam would have tried to jump over that bitch, I bet he would at least got to the goal line. Like, they didn't even review it. They were like, nah, he ain't get to the goal line. Yeah, we don't even need to run.
We don't even need to look at that.
Yo, kick the fucking
Hurry up.
And listen, you know what? Thank God he scored. Because thank God you didn't have to sit on the fucking sideline. After that nigga just...
I would have just went and hit behind the field goal post, but until the next possession, I would have just sat back there. Like, I am not going over.
I saw a tweet. It was like, bro, this really on Lamar. He said Tyler Huntley should be mad at Lamar because shit, nobody know I'm this trash. You fucking the bag up for me. Like, niggas didn't know I was this ass.
Niggas was calling me Lamar Jackson 2.0.
I was gonna give me a little backup deal somewhere. Now everybody know I'm shit.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, you that nigga who fumbled, right?
Oh my God. You that nigga, you that fumble. Okay, so
Shout out Marlon Humphrey Sensor too. Yeah.
Shut up. Marlon Humphrey, you can come on the podcast too. I saw that tweet, by the way.
Shout out Marlon Humphrey, man.
All right.
That boy was Mark Gordon.
All right, so we have talked about the number 1 seed. We've talked about all the games. Now we get to talk about the best football player.
Yep.
So, Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence in Kansas City. Is this game on Saturday, I think? Yeah,
Yes,
Saturday
it's
game.
a Saturday game, yeah.
Saturday night game. What you got, who you got, and we'll start. Actually, I'll ask a better question. What do you think Jacksonville can do to win this game? Because I know we're both going to pick Kansas City. We made a pact this year. We're never picking Patrick Mahomes for the next 20 years. So,
Yeah.
What can Jacksonville do to pick this game?
They
win this game.
they have to run the ball.
100%.
They have to run the ball.
100%.
But to beat Mahomes, that's one of the first boxes you need to check off. I don't care.
Keep the ball out of it.
Gotta keep the ball out of his hands. I think they need to be aggressive. I think they need to play the way Doug Peterson is known to play. I think they need to be very creative on offense. And I think on defense, you just gotta try to make them uncomfortable. Josh Allen, the other Josh Allen, not Kenneth Walker. What's his name? Something Walker. He was the first overall pick. Is it Tremaine Walker?
Tremaine Walker.
I'm tweaking, but he's the Jacksonville defensive end. He was the number 1 pick. Today's the day. We need y'all to play big today.
Yeah.
We need y'all to be monsters today to try to do anything y'all can to slow this Kansas City team down, because especially early. Because let's break it down what you're facing. One of the best coaches ever. One of the best coaches ever coming off a bye. One of the best coaches ever coming off a bye at home with a reigning MVP at the peak of his powers with a defense who was second in the league in sacks. Early in the year, their defense was bad. Their secondary was trash. Why was their secondary trash? Because they were young. All of a sudden, it's been 19 weeks of football. And Trent McDuffie and these players, not so young anymore.
Nope.
Oh, and the best pass catching tight end since Gronk.
Yes.
Maybe better than Gronk.
I was about to say might be better.
Might be better than
Gronk.
Gronk.
Best ever.
No.
Quiet as kept.
That's what you're going up against. But not to doubt, because you also have the best Georgia high school football player ever.
And he's undefeated on Saturday.
So my prediction, this is what I would do. This is what I would do if I was Kansas City. Let's kick the ball off at 10:15. That way the fourth quarter is on a Sunday. Let's just play the fourth quarter after midnight. That way they'll have to win. Because I don't know if Trevor Lawrence can lose on a Sunday. Like he went to Waffle House after the game. Like, how can we not root for him?
Went to Waffle House.
Went to Waffle House after the
Went
game.
to Waffle House.
What a
bro.
guy.
Okay, so first I want to start off by saying anybody that's mad at Trevor Lawrence because he said, I don't think Arrowhead is supposed to be louder. It's going to be louder than Jacksonville. My nigga, he wasn't supposed to say that about his fans. He was supposed to say, yeah, my fans suck.
Y'all lucky he couldn't say what he was.
So
y'all suppose.
So I'll start there. But 100% agree, bro. They have to run the ball. They have to keep 15 off the field, and it is simple as that. If they cannot run the ball, you're not getting in a shootout with Patrick Mahomes and winning. I think Trevor Lawrence is incredible. I think next year by week 12, week 13, we'll be like, all right, he's a top 5 quarterback, maybe 3. I think he's that good, and he's coming into his own like that. Yeah. Thank God he survived Urban Meyer once again. We'll say that, but
not surviving the Urban Meyer year is crazy.
Crazy. So shout out to Trevor, but I do think their key is Travis Etienne, bro. Travis has to have a great game. He has to go for 80 yards.
Also, never lost on Saturday.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
they would go together.
Shout out to my dog. So
them niggas wake up on Saturday just different.
I 100% think that they have a chance in this game. I don't think this game is unwinnable for them simply because I don't think Kansas City's offense is that high powered. I think they have Patrick Mahomes, so it's on a different level than anybody else's. But I think they have the personnel and the coaching staff to scheme to make it difficult for them.
Right.
And do I think if Patrick Mahomes goes into this and gets a 10-point lead, 12-point lead, all right, that's 13-point lead, that's over with. Trevor Lawrence comes down and throws 2 picks, all right, it's over with. But if he has a clean game and it's going into the fourth quarter and we're at a 27-27 game, 24-27 game Jacksonville, I think they can pull this out. I don't think they will, but I think this is a winnable game if you can keep the turnovers down, if you can force the Kansas City Chiefs to make one mistake. It doesn't have to be an interception, but a fumble, a turnover on downs, anything, a big penalty that knocks them back to like a 3rd and 40,
which they
or 3rd and 20.
Which they I have been known to do.
All of these things can be done.
Yeah.
But, man, like...
That's 15, though.
Man.
That's 15. Like,
that's 15, though, bro. That's 15.
And we haven't, and I wanted to add this, because I haven't heard anybody else say this. And I don't know if it's something nobody said because, it may be like a wild take. But to get where Andy Reid is in life, he got to be a little bit of a sicko.
No, for sure.
He got to have some of that crazy guy in him. And, if I was a sicko like Andy Reid and I was at home watching the Jags and I watched former Eagles head coach Doug Peterson win a Super Bowl in Philadelphia, I didn't win one in Philly. I didn't get to win one in Philly.
I had some rosters too.
Yeah.
I damn near should have.
Everybody's praising Doug Peterson. What an amazing 4th down call, which was one of the best 4th down calls I've ever seen. Like the QB sneak into pitch, amazing.
Amazing.
If I'm Andy Reid, I kind of want to violate. I kind of feel slighted, bro. Yeah. So I want to throw out the possibility that Andy Reid just come out here and just outcoach them too. Like there's really no telling what could happen.
There's no telling. I think so. Who do you think is the MVP of the game? I will ask you that.
I think Kadarius Toney go for 2 tubs.
That's a good pick.
I think Kadarius Toney go for 2 tubs. I think the Jaguars are going to have to play a lot of man because I don't think they'll be getting Mahomes constantly enough to play a lot of zone. And I think what Kadarius Toney can do to separate is going to cause a lot of problems for teams in the playoffs this year because it works hand in hand with Travis because he's going to get those one-on-one looks. And in the past, it was Tyreek like that, but Tyreek's explosion and quickness kind of hinders what routes he can run because he's moving so fucking fast. He runs this out and Travis Kelce's still coming off the line. I think Kadarius Toney is an amazing route runner, especially in short distances in quick space. And I think he'll shine a lot in this game, especially in the red zone where it's very important to score.
Very important. So I love that pick. I think the MVP of this game will be Chris Jones.
Okay.
I think Chris Jones is going to have a huge impact on this game, and I think he's going to make Trevor very uncomfortable. I'm not saying he can go for 4 sacks or nothing like that. I just think he's going to get constant pressure on the quarterback, and he's going to be the reason why they can't run the ball. So I think you'll look back on this game and you'll be like, you'll watch the film of this game and you'll see, oh, that's why they ran the ball 15 times and it had to stop in the third quarter because Chris Jones, I think he will clog up that paint. My bad. I love basketball. I think he's going to clog up the line of scrimmage. I think he's going to clog up the line of scrimmage and force Trevor to drop back 45, 50 times. And like I said, you're not winning that matchup doing that with Patrick dropping back 45, 50 times. So I think Chris Jones is going to be the unsung hero of this game. But I do think Kadarius Toney will have a great game because, like you said, that getting in one-on-one, kind of how Cooper Kupp and Odell were working last year.
Exactly.
Which is Cooper was getting double teamed, so Odell was one-on-one. I think Toney will be one-on-one. And he is, boy, that's an athlete. That's an athlete.
Bro, he's crazy.
So I just think scheme-wise, like you said, I think the Chiefs will be a little bit more prepared. I think he'll out-coach Doug Peterson by a lot. And I love Doug Peterson, by the way. One of the 5, 6 best coaches in football. He's an excellent coach. But I definitely think that Andy Reid is going to be ready to go.
I hate Doug Peterson.
That vengeance, that little I never won a Super Bowl fit, that means something, bro.
Yeah,
He's thinking like that. That's real, bro.
Yeah.
He a competitor, bro. He really trying to put his foot in his mouth and really out-coach him.
Hey, welcome to the AFC. Welcome to the AFC, bitch.
Welcome.
Yeah, I got a team now, nigga. What's up, nigga? You took them years off, nigga. I've been working.
You took them years off. So, yeah, bro, I really do think this is going to be a great game. What I do want to ask you before we make these game picks is, what do you think is going to be the best game?
Football nerd-wise, I think the best game would be the Giants game.
Okay.
But just watching is going to be that Bills-Bengals game.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much star power in it. It's just so much star power in that game.
Yeah.
So many players, like we said earlier, we don't know who night it really could be.
Nope.
No clue who night.
Gabe Davis go for 3 tubs.
Gabe Davis go for 3 tubs. Like, yeah, the Bills, you're playing for so much. DeMar's back on the sideline. You've been the favorite all year. And the Bengals, it's like, all right, we went to Super Bowl last year. We dogged all y'all this year. I'm the underdog going into the game for what?
For what?
Like, nigga,
for what?
Like, my nigga, I'm Joe Burrow.
Come on,
like, that's Jamar Chase up there.
Come on, bro.
Like, that's still Joe Mixon. Like, that is a really good team. And niggas at the press conference like, do you feel like you're the underdog? Bitch, why would I ever be an underdog? Like, come on. It's so much to prove on both sides. Like Joe Burrow trying to establish who he is. Josh Allen trying to insert himself in these conversations because Josh Allen goes home in divisional round this year. Like, again, like, you know, how could we put you in these conversations with Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes?
It's Joe and Pat after that. Like, you can be 3, you can be a strong 3, but you're not 2. You can't have an argument.
Right.
So, to answer your question, fan-wise, if I'm saying, hey, I know you don't watch football, but the Cincinnati Bengals game, I keep doing it. The Cincinnati Buffalo game, it will be the one I tell like a casual fan to watch.
Yeah.
But football nerd for me is that San Francisco Dallas game.
Ooh.
I think that's going to be such a good game because I really think Dallas is good. Yeah. I thought Dallas was good all season. I just can't talk about the Cowboys in a positive way. It's real hard for me to do. So
it's impossible to do because they're just so liable to embarrass you.
Exactly, bro.
They're just so liable to I'm gonna say all this. And y'all not gonna do none of that shit, bro. Everything I just say is not gonna do it, bro.
Bruh, exactly. So
y'all gonna make me look stupid.
So just because I think the Cowboys match up decent with the 49ers, I just think that Brock Purdy thing is so interesting to me. As like the football guy that knows the rookie and how that is as a quarterback. Mm-hmm. But dude, like he just got so much confidence back there. And Kyle is such a good fucking play caller, bro. Yeah. Like that shit just may not matter that he's a rookie this year. So I'm very interested in that. I'm very interested in that game. I'm really excited for this week.
And I just know Kyle Shanahan's gonna outcoach Mike McCarthy.
Okay.
That's it. And
I'm gonna argue with that.
Listen, like we did with Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, a bit of a sick ass nigga too. You know, this is the Dan Quinn defense. This is the Dan Quinn defense that I've heard so much about. Okay. All right.
Okay.
It's my fault. It's my fault we lost the ball. Okay. Nigga scored 30 in the fourth quarter. It's my fault. I didn't run the ball. Okay. I'm gonna run the ball tonight, my nigga. I'm gonna show you right now. I can't believe Kyle Shanahan kept throwing. They scored 30 points in the fourth.
That nigga finna run the ball 67 times. Christian McCaffrey gonna have 37 carries on Sunday.
really wish we could hear I wish the NFL was unfiltered as the NBA. I wish they could come back to the press conference like, I just kept running, said I didn't run enough.
But hey, they said Kyle Shanahan really is a sicko because if he was watching the Seahawks, some replay came up and he chest bumped one of the Seahawks players.
No, when they pulled Debo's leg, bro, they pulled Debo's leg. Then they started fighting on the field. Shanahan ran out there to pull his players away. He started arguing with the other team,
bumping niggas, arguing with him. And then ran the ball and said he was gonna run it down. And then he said, I don't know who said it, but it was like whoever was watching was like, he finna run the ball down their throat. He ran 6 straight times, bro. That's a maniac over there.
Listen. I saw Kyle Shanahan, and I don't know if this will happen, but if it does, you heard it here first. I saw Kyle Shanahan put Trent Williams in motion to go get somebody. Micah, you don't want that guy to be you. You don't want to be the guy. You want the edge thinking you finna go get Brock Purdy. And he put that foot back for the motion. It's not a wide receiver. you think it's Ayuk turning the corner and it's Trent Williams.
Oh, man.
You better keep your head on a swivel today.
All right. So let's pick these games, and then I'm about to set you up to go on a rant before we go. So, first game of the weekend, Saturday, 4:30, Jacksonville, Kansas City. Who do you got score?
31-17.
Kansas
Chiefs.
City.
Yeah.
All right, I am going 31-24. I'm gonna say it's a little good game. I'm gonna say 31-24. Chiefs kind of control the fourth quarter and get out of there. Yeah. 8:15 game, New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles.
21-17 Giants.
24. I got 24-20 Eagles. And I think Jalen Hurts has one of his coming out party game and kind of solidifies himself as a top 5 quarterback, at least top 7. 3 o'clock Sunday, Cincinnati, Buffalo.
34-31 Bengals. Jamar with 2 tubs, 2 gritties.
Okay. All right, so I'm making an Atlanta pick. my pick is 38. I'm going 38-35 Cincinnati. I also think T. Higgins has a really good game. Yeah. I think he scores a touchdown. I think Jamar goes about 7-120, and T. Higgins goes about 7.
I think it depends who they put Trey White on. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you double Jamar and
I ain't gonna lie. Whoever they don't double,
pick your poison.
Because they put Trey White on Jamar, it's gonna get ugly. But if they put Trey White on T. Higgins, it might get ugly. So
yeah, exactly. So last game of the weekend. The America's team, Dallas Cowboys versus San Francisco 49ers.
I'm going to go 31-7.
31-7?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. San Francisco 31-7. All right, I'm going to go San Francisco. No. I'm going to go San Francisco 27-14.
Okay.
And that is our playoff talk of this week. So Sunday we'll review the Saturday games, and of course, talk a little bit more about the games in depth Sunday. But before we get out of here.
And I don't know what this rant is about, by the way.
Oh, yeah, he does not know. I've
I've
been very excited to ask him this question on that. Aaron Rodgers just want to win MVP again? Aaron Rodgers just won MVP. That's all he cares about.
Bro. Listen, Aaron, you a hell of a guy, man. You're a hell of a guy, man. Even I underestimated how selfish you were as a person. And I really underestimated you. Because first of all, you're probably the most selfish person in the league. And even then, I underestimated the level of selfishness. And we on the pod now. So it all makes sense. You hate your family. It all adds up. That less than a week after, we just got sent home because of you. Oh my God, because of you. You are gonna win an MVP. You threw for 300 yards once this year. What you mean you gonna win the MVP? You won the best quarterback in the division with Kirk Cousins, and you're gonna win. Where are you going to win MVP, Rodgers? Ni hao? Do they play football in China? Are you gonna play in the USFL? Because I did say, listen, it's not a chance. Not a chance. Aaron Rodgers wins the MVP again. You shouldn't have won your last one. No, you shouldn't. Man, it's honestly impressive. It's really impressive. The lack of awareness that you got to walk around with. For it to be your fault a third year in a row. And you're at the press conference well, if they want to work with me, Aaron, fam.
If they want to work with me.
Fam.
They want to work, they just gave you $50 million a year, my nigga.
Bro, They wanted to work with you so bad they had to let Devontae Adams go, bro.
No, they didn't, bro. No.
Oh no, they left because Devontae didn't know.
No, Devontae got I didn't know this until I was watching one of them shows. Devontae got the same deal that he got that he got in Vegas by the Packers. He said no.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So what does that say about you, Aaron?
That's you.
Devontae came off some of 3 great seasons, 3 straight 13-3 seasons, 3 playoff runs, and was like, nah, I'm gonna go to Vegas with no fucking defense and Josh McDaniels as my head coach.
Let me ask you this.
And Derek Carr.
Let me ask you this. Who's the last reigning MVP to lose their number 1 wide receiver by choice? That's your number 1 wide receiver. Like, I don't want to play here no more.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
He's just like, I just don't want to play here no more. Yeah, I'll be okay. Getting targeted 30 times a game, like,
man. Just selfish, bro.
The knock on the Packers was, they throw the ball to Devontae too much. And he still left. And he still didn't want to play with you. Like, the lack of self-awareness.
And still didn't lose a rep all year.
And still went over there with Jesus Man to Las Vegas and didn't lose a single rep without you.
Derek Carr got cut and was in church. Like, that shit.
I love Derek Carr.
Derek Carr was like, they can't break me.
He's such a great guy, man. Good dude, man. You know?
Shout out to Derek.
Family guy.
Keep your head up, my nigga. Oh my God.
Listen, hey, Derek, like, they gotta pay you. Hey, listen, they gotta pay you. You know, you got your bread. Think about it this way. You know, listen, I be praising God too. Getting out of the Josh McDaniels system. You know, sometimes you gotta close the door to open the window, Derek.
Come on now.
But Rodgers,
come on now.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over. And unlike Brady and Breeze and Aikman, there will be no hundreds of millions of dollars waiting for you to announce. You didn't get Jeopardy.
No.
It's because people hate you.
They hate you.
And they should.
They absolutely should. No one likes you. Do you know that? How's that feel? Except for Pat McAfee.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out Pat McAfee.
But for sure. Have us on the show, Pat. But
yeah,
man. Aaron, just unbelievably selfish. I don't have to say anything. I agree with everything.
I read the quote and I didn't know. I had to make sure it was from this year.
Bro, like just insanely selfish after getting bounced out because
I wonder how your teammates felt like that.
Again, because of you.
Yeah.
I want to reiterate that y'all lost that game against Detroit because of you. You didn't score 34 points and they gave up 38 to Jared Goff.
Right.
You couldn't score 20 points against the Detroit Lions at home.
Where's defense in the NFL?
Where's
missing their number 1 corner?
Come on, get the fuck out of here.
Like, bro, I don't.
Just unbelievably selfish. And I want to say this, and I'm gonna sound crazy saying this, but I could probably name 12 quarterbacks I would take over Aaron Rodgers all time. People used to.
I'm so glad. Listen, I'm so glad you said that. Listen, that time is over.
People used to be like top 5.
That time
is 5.
Over.
Brady Rodgers. Brady Rodgers. Rodgers, man. Nah. It's a good 8 or 9 quarterbacks I'm taking before.
Yeah, listen, right. And this is the end for sure. This is the end, whether you know it or not, because you're probably not walking away from $60 million. But you won't be playing any meaningful football anytime soon.
No.
But this is it. This is the end of anybody considering having you in the pantheon of those Mahomes, because he's already past you. Brady, Montana, and that's it. And that was my biggest point when people were having these Rodgers.
I'll take Eli Manning over you, nigga.
Eli got 2 bowls.
Eli got 2 of them against Brady.
And Eli don't got no slouch bowls either.
Nope.
Eli don't got no Trent Dilfer bowls. Eli was out there slinging that shit.
Letting that motherfucker go.
Eli got one of my favorite throws ever. And a win against us, it hurts me.
That Mario Manningham throw?
Fam,
that's one of the best
cover 2 throw. Cover 2. Bro, you literally can't throw it better than that.
You can't. It would have been an interception or out of bounds. Like, it was no other way to throw that ball.
You know who doesn't throw that pass? Because he can throw it out of bounds. Can't reach the pick.
Oh, I can't stand you, dog.
And you know what? I everything I knew about you, I knew you were a good dude when you didn't try to get in the end zone 3 years ago against the Bucs. I knew then that you were one of the best dudes we've ever seen. Cause at least try, my nigga. Like,
didn't even try.
He did it in the Lions game. Quiet as cat. First drive of the Lions game, he got the pocket. I was like, man, is he gonna try to get this into the end zone? Nope.
Nope.
Loser.
Loser. So before we go, live basketball is on right now. Warriors are playing the Celtics right now. Finals rematch on TNT. So y'all go enjoy that. The Warriors are down right now 38-30. The Memphis is on an 11-game win streak. They look crazy. Still don't think they'll make any noise in the playoffs, but I do think they got potential to get to the Western Conference Finals. And anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
De'Aaron Fox should be an All-Star.
De'Aaron Fox absolutely should be an All-Star, and I'm maybe Sabonis too. I gotta go look at the rest.
Well, right now he's behind Looney for votes. Shout out Lil. Shout out Lil Goon, nigga.
Shout him out. So that's podcast number 1. The show will be up probably. It doesn't matter. It's not live. But y'all have a great night. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good shit, and we'll be back live Sunday. So 2 times a week, we're working. Man.
Shout out to bad bitches.
All of them. We can cuss on this bitch now. Shout out to all of them.
Shout out all the bad bitches.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all be safe.